So we're looking at 2 milligram. Now remember, you have those prefixes that you just you got. I think it's on, yeah, it's on the back of that one. Take a look here. This is the one. Okay, so you look at, say, little m. What is little m? Well, we're not looking at the unit here, right? So you have a prefix plus a unit. So when you're talking about units, right, you have your base unit, but sometimes you will see a prefix. So a prefix is the amount. It tells you how much of that unit you're getting, right? That's the magnitude. So example, you have mm. Now they look exactly the same. This would be your unit. Okay, so the last one is always the unit. Hey, Raniel, welcome. The last one is always the unit. And the first one is the prefix. So the last one is always the base unit. So what kind of measurement are you doing if you have a unit m, little m? That's which one? Yeah, this is millimeter. That's right, millimeter. So what are you measuring with the millimeter? What is millimeter? Are you measuring how heavy something is, how long something is? It's the length, right? So this is a unit of length and it's called the meter. That's the base unit, meter. And then this prefix, you need to know how much is that equivalent to. So the little m right there corresponds to milli, and milli is a small, right? It's a small unit. Look at this thing here, this ruler. See this ruler? Those are the milli. Each line is a millimeter. Okay, very small. So 10 of those is 1 centimeter. Okay, so little m is milli. The prefix milli means 10 to the negative 3. So we need to know some of the prefixes. So maybe this weekend we could memorize what those prefixes mean. Okay, so the ones that are definitely important that you're gonna see now, you're probably never gonna see iota. You know, that's an iota of something. Iota is a lot, right? That's basically what that means. It's 10 to the power of 24. You're gonna rarely see that. But the stuff that I expect you to know are kilo. So kilo is 10 to the 3, right? 10 to the 3, and you see here 10 to the 6 and 10 to the 9 for giga. When you buy a cell phone data, that's how much they measure your bytes of information, giga. So that's a billion. Okay, centi, you'll know it's a centi to the negative 2, and then negative 3, negative 6, and then nano, I will highlight that as well, to the negative 9, pico negative 2. So those are the ones I definitely, let's go all the way to tera and pico. So those ones, so this is deca, is just 10 to the power of 1, right? You see the pattern? 2, negative 1. Know these ones. I would expect that you will know those prefixes, okay, by memory. Okay, so at this point you'll be using those things, so you could do conversion because you're not gonna be using this. The milli is gonna be dropped, okay, and then you bring this all the way to kilo. So milli will become K. So that's the point of this. But before you do that, you see this milli, that's gonna be canceled, right? All right, so look at the conversion. What does milli mean? What does m mean? Remember, m means 10 to the negative 3. That's basically what that means, right? The prefix m. I'm not talking about the meter, okay? I'm talking about the prefix little m. It means 10 to the negative 3. It's 1/1000 of something. So what you're gonna do then is that little m, you don't want that, and I'm gonna replace that by 10 to the negative 3. That's what that means. That's it. It's just like saying 1 dozen. It's just like this. 1 dozen is how many? 12, exactly. 1 dozen is 12. So you don't say 12 dozen is 1. You don't say that. It's 1 dozen is 12. So it's just like this. Basically, I'm saying that 10 to the negative 3 gram is 1 milligram. So they have to be equal, what you put here. So that's going to be canceled now. Now you've got grams. You don't want grams, so I'm going to bring the kilo now. Okay, so I bring another line here. I don't want G. So where do I put G? Top or bottom? Bottom. So the G goes here and the kilo is now brought in. Okay, so kilo means what? No, bigger. Kilo is 1,000, right? So since you already have the K is just like, you can buy K for 1,000. So I'm going to put 1,000 right here, or 10 to the power of 3. That's what K means. So you're basically saying 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. So it has to be equal. And look at this, grams will cancel, and you've got your kilograms. Done. Okay, so that is the easiest, most direct way to do that unit conversion. So you just plug it into your calculator and just go 2. Now this is at the top, so take a look here. Do this with me. So you're going to go 2 times, now this is 10 to the power of 3. I'm going to enter 1 exponent negative 3, right? What about if the number is on the bottom? You divide it. So divide it by 1,000. And that's it. Equals 2 to the power of negative 6. So that's what we have. So 2 times 10 to the negative 6 kilograms. And that is your answer. So you should have a you should have an idea how big these prefixes are telling you. So milligram, you guys ever taken Tylenol or Advil in your life? Yeah? How many milligram is 1 Tylenol? Do you guys know? 500 milligram, right? 500 milligram, that's extra strength. The regular Tylenol is 250 milligrams. So that's how heavy that Tylenol tablet is. So milligram is very small, right? So how big is 1 kilo? How big is 1 kilo? If you take a look at these metals, this is half a kilo. So 2 of these, this is 500 grams. So 2 of these is 1 kilo. These are heavy. Compare this to your Tylenol tablet, right? So that's why your number is so small. So you have to look at your answer as well. It has to make sense. It's got to be a very small exponent number here because you're going milli to kilo. Okay? So again, that's just something that we need to be mindful of. When you're calculating, your number has to make sense as well. You don't just say, yep, done it, put it in my calculator. That's my final answer. You gotta be mindful of what your calculator is giving you, because you can easily press the wrong button. Can you try this one here? This is also a single unit. Can we try this one, please? So you're going from mega, big M. Again, you should know it's mega. And that funny symbol is called micro. Okay? So let's go and try this on your own here. So you start by putting down what you're given in brackets. So go ahead and try that one, please. So that's a big one, right? Mega is big. Okay, so if you're done, number 3, try that one. What do you think is that letter P? So you're going from 1 second to 1 PS. So look at the chart again. So this is called pico. Pico, yeah.
Is it okay if I just put 100 to the 12? Without, like 100 times 10 to the 12.
This one?
Yeah. No, number 3.
Oh, for which one? For this number here?
Like for the final answer. I put 100 times 10.
Yeah, but when you're doing proper scientific notation as a final answer, you want only one digit. Yeah, so this is technically 1.0, but 100 to the power of 12 is the same thing. I won't mark it wrong, just not the convention. Yeah. And I know you know how to do it. Just one digit and then followed by whatever exponents. Yeah, it's the same answer. What is the little p? It's called pico. Again, try this one here. Let's do this quickly. S and then PS. Again, the word pico is a very small number. What is that? Is that? That is just, you're just converting it, right? Negative 12, right? Yeah, negative 12. So you're gonna go 1 divided by 1 exponent negative 12, and you know that you're just gonna get the positive 12. So 1 times 10 to the positive 12 seconds. So that is a lot of seconds, because a pico is a blink of an eye. It's actually faster than a blink of an eye. It's faster than what your neurons can do when it's transferring information. Pico is very, very small. So it has 1 times 10 to the power of 12 second. Okay, so those are single units. Can we try a double unit like this one here, and then we'll do a 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional, and that will take care of the unit conversion here. Okay, let's try this one. How are we doing with the single units? You guys getting the hang of it? Okay, so you see here, you're just putting the one that you want to cancel on the bottom, and you're working your way towards what you're trying to get. Question? Yeah, it's the same thing. Same thing again, 10 to the 13. Is that what your calculator gives you? Yeah? Okay, it's just the different setting. Did your calculator give you the 100 times 10 to the 12? Or you were just, actually you're just doing it in your head, weren't you? Mental math. Yeah, if you look at this, this is 100. So if you look at this one, this is 6 minus 6 is 6 plus 6. So you're going to go 100 times 10 to the power of 12, and that would be the mental math equivalent of this, and then you can just convert that into this. 1 times 10 to the power of 14. So in most cases, you can just, like this one here, you don't need the calculator for this one, right? Because this is something that has no exponent, so 10 to the power of 0. Keep in mind, this is actually 10 to the power of 0. Anything that is to the exponent of 0 is 1. Did we know that? 1 million to the 0 is 1. Well, what about 0 to the power of 0? No, we're not even going to talk about 0, because when you talk about 0, it's pretty complicated. So 0 doesn't really follow the rules, right? So yeah, we're not going to touch that. So just anything to the power of 0 is just 1. It doesn't matter. And that's how you could do quick calculations. Sometimes mental math is faster than pressing it on your calculator buttons, right? Okay, so that's the single unit conversion. Any questions about that one? We're okay? Let's try this one. It's exactly the same thing, except you've got 2 units to worry about, right? Okay, so you've got 1 mile per hour. Now don't use M for mile, because meter is M, so mile is MI, okay? So again, put them in brackets. You want to convert this to meters per second, so you have to convert miles to something first, right? So what we know is 1 mile equals 1.6 kilometer. So that is something that we know that. So I'm gonna change miles first. So I put miles on the bottom, see that? And I'm gonna put kilo right here. So we know that 1 mile is 1.6, and that takes care of the miles. Look at that. So right now we have kilometers per hour. If you just want kilometers per hour, that's it, you're done. You just multiply your miles per hour by 1.6. But here you actually want all the way to meters per second. So what do you think is the next thing? I put kilometers here and I put meters. Can you tell me the numbers that go? 1,000 at the top and 1 on the bottom. That takes care of the kilo. And then meter, you're already, so that's done. But we need to go and do the hours all the way to seconds, right? So where does hour go here? Top or bottom? You want to cancel it? Yeah, because you want to go the opposite. Now you can go minutes, or can we go straight to seconds? Yeah, so what do we put here? 1 hour is how many seconds? Yeah, 3,600, because 60 minutes is 1 hour and 60 seconds is 1 minute. So 60 times 60 is 3,600, okay? So we did a little shortcut there, but I think everyone, okay? Okay, so hours now go away, and you can check your unit if you have M at the top, which you do, and S at the bottom, which we do, and then the rest is just calculation of the numbers, okay? So you just go 1 times 1.6, I'm showing you on this, times 1,000, and then divided by 3,600, and you get 0.44 repeating meters per second. That's a double unit conversion. And I'm gonna show you one more, because those will come, and I'm actually gonna, it says the assignment here. I'm not gonna bother giving you an assignment with conversion right. Let's do it right now, but you don't have to hand this in, okay? So let's do a two-dimensional, a 2D unit. Say, for example, if you have length times width, what are you measuring if you have length times width? Area, right? So area is to the power of 2. That's a two-dimensional unit. So it's like x to the power of 2. That's what two-dimensional unit is. So let's do one example here for number 1. So let's say you have 100 meter squared. That's how you know it's 2D. And you want to convert this to nanometer squared. Your technique will be exactly the same as a single unit conversion, except you square everything. Numbers and units. So I'll show you the first one here, okay? So I do the exact same technique. So I go 100 meter, except this one is squared. You put this in brackets. And what do I want? Nanometer. So I put the meter at the bottom. I put the nanometer at the top. Just like before, except now everything is squared. So can you tell me the numbers that convert the nano into meter? What is a nano? Go back, go look at your chart. Is that a big or small number? Nano. Small. Nanotechnology deals with very small things. Way, way smaller than bacteria or viruses. Okay, so what is nano? 1 nano means what? It means 1 times 10 to the power of 9. Negative 9, right? Nano, 9. Nano means 9. This is a negative 9. So that takes care of the meter squared. But look at this. Because everything is squared, including the numbers, you have to square the numbers as well. That's one thing that we need to remember. If the units are squared, the numbers must also be squared. And you're there. You've got the nanometers. So how do we do this on your calculator? Okay, go 100, and you're going to divide that by 1 exponent negative 9, and you're just going to press your square button. That makes it to the negative 18. Equals, the answer is 1 times 10 to the power of 20 nanometer squared. That's your answer. Because you went from meter, which is big, to nano, which is small. Your number's gotta be large. So let's test your conversion here. We're gonna go 3D now, which is x to the power of 3. So let's say meter cube, cubic meter. What is that called when you're measuring cubic meter? Volume, that's how big something is. Length, width, and height. Okay, so that's the whole measurement. So let's do this one. So if you have 200, say 200 picometer cube, and I want you to convert this into mega meter cube. Okay, can you guys try that one quickly? Let's see how we do here.
So here you have to keep it.
That's right, you figured it out. So if we squared the two-dimensional, you're gonna cube everything for this one. So you always put 1 where the actual prefix is, you see, you notice that? And then you put the conversion where there is no prefix. So pico is -12, right? And then you gotta cube everything. Well, 1 cube is still 1. And now you've gotten rid of the pico. Go ahead, you're trying this on your own, right? You know how to do this. And then I put 1 where there's a prefix. Go. So you have an x cube in your calculator. So when you're going to use x to the power of 3, so again, you're going from very tiny, pico, to very big, mega, million, right? So you're going to get a small number there. So again, numbers should make sense. Okay, and I'm gonna give you one more to practice today. So this is the one more conversion we're going to do today. It's a very strange unit. You go, what could that be measuring? So anything that's to the power of 3 is volume, you said, right? So volume is the amount. So this is volume over time. So what could that be measuring? Can you think of something? Rate of change that's measuring the change in volume over time. An example would be, and this will come in our unit on projectiles, let's say I have a hose, okay? You know how water is coming out of the hose? You can measure how many gallons of water, gallon is a volume, or microliter cube is a volume as well, per second, per amount of time. How much water is coming out per amount of time. So that could be an example of this measurement right here. Okay, so that is an actual measurement. So let's try this one.